everybody. Hey, Scott, how you doing? What's up?
Doing all right. Doing all right. What's going on with you?
Not much. I feel like every week I sit down, I take longer to get comfortable in my chair. Yeah, not much going on here. Not much to report. We did have a hurricane this last
Oh
week.
my God.
Heard of it? Yes. It wasn't. It wasn't as hurricane-y, I think, as we were all expecting. So not much damage or destruction or anything like that. Just some rain. So yeah, really wasn't too bad. Scott, what's new with you? Did you do anything last week?
Uh, I don't think so. I honestly, I don't remember.
Had to be. There's like something, right?
Like, what day is it even?
Did you?
Oh, no, no, that was the week before. Who's to say, really? I don't know.
Huh. Oh, I do know something that's new. Our team said that they couldn't hear us very well, so they actually got us these brand new microphones. So Scott and I are still learning how to use them.
Four, three, two, standby, ready to fix one.
Well, Scott and I are going to try to figure those out over the commercial break, but we do have a really excellent show for you this evening. We've got David and Joe in the test kitchen mixing some tasty food, and then Igor actually has the week off, so Nerd Corner is not happening this week, but we've got Ginger Bartender making Topo Chico cocktails, and then I also had the opportunity to sit down with Sam and Mariah and talk to them about the Pasifika Project. And
Oh, wait, you're on mute. We've got Michael Moberly in this week playing Wait, you're on mute. The game show we started last week, and it was hilarious.
you got it. Good job. Well, anyway, stay tuned.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ginger Bartender. My name is Stephen Halpin and I am excited to be here. Today, we're going to be talking about two of my favorite things. Tequila, obviously Patron, and Topo Chico. And they are a match made in heaven. One of my favorite things to do is to go to a bar, get an ice cold margarita served up in a coupe, and have a ice cold Topo Chico on the side. Sometimes it happens, you get that cocktail, it's a little too tart or a little too sweet, and a splash of Topo Chico in on top of it is the absolute best way to enjoy that margarita. It's actually how the cocktail that we're going to be enjoying today is created. A man by the name of Kevin Williamson created the ranch water back in 1998 at his restaurant called Ranch 616, which is in Austin, Texas. And he loved to have his margaritas in that way and decided that that was how he was going to serve them. Basically, an effervescent margarita. Topo Chico, if you're not familiar with it, probably you don't live in Texas. It's everywhere down here. And it's starting to spread out throughout the whole US. It's a delicious, really, really bubbly, sparkling mineral water from Mexico. It's got lots of legends around it that it cured an Aztec princess. But it's been bottled since 1895, and the source of the water comes from an inactive volcano, and so that's where it gets a lot of its minerality from. And so today I'm going to be talking about a quick and simple bottled version of this. I've introduced it to lots and lots of bars and restaurants around the US, and it's just great for its simplicity, it's great for its consistency, and it's just super, super simple. I love to have a batch of these always sitting in the fridge. If someone happens to come over, which never happens anymore, or you're heading to the pool, or you're heading out on the boat, or whatever it may be, these are just a great thing to be able to take along with you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you with the two different sizes how to make a simple, quick batch of this. So this one is 12 ounces, and we're going to make a full cocktail from this. And then this one is a 6.5 ounce. So I'm going to basically do a 1.5 batch. So let's get these opened up. You can see the bubbles right away. And I'm going to then take this. I'm going to pour 2 ounces out of this one. Just half the amount that I need. And for this one, the full pour of 4 ounces. And so once you have those ready to go, let's build our batch. We're gonna take, for this, we're gonna need 1 ounce of lime for this one. And so a ½ ounce here, so 1½ ounces of lime juice. Straight in. Patron Citronge. A lot of people disagree on ranch water. Most people in Texas will just make their ranch water with tequila and lime and Topo Chico. The original recipe from Ranch 616 always had Patron Citronge as a part of it, and so we're gonna keep making it in that way. 1 ounce into the cocktail, the full size, so 1.5 ounces again is what we're gonna pour into our batch. Keeping up with the math. Perfect. And then last but by no means least, Patron Silver. We're gonna add 2 ounces to a full one, 1 ounce to a half. And so it's going to be 3 ounces in total of tequila that I need to add into this batch. And that's it. All of those things together. Just a quick little mix. And then we're going to gently pour this in. As I said before, these are really effervescent. It will bubble up a little. And so you just want to kind of, this is why I like using a mixing glass, to allow it slowly to add in. And you're just going to fill it all the way up the neck. Once it gets up to the neck, I kind of slow down, let it bubble up a little bit, work off the other one. We'll just leave that last a little bit. And there you have it. This cocktail is ready for you to enjoy right away. Or if you would like to keep a batch of them and be able to save it for later on, then all you need to do from your local home brew store is get a set of bottle caps. Really, really quick and easy. You're able to reuse the bottle that it was served in. And then all you need is bottle caps. You can get them in different colors to identify the different cocktails that you do. Bottle capper over the top, press down, and it seals. Just a little bit of force, doesn't take very much, and once that's sealed, it's tight. I usually give it a quick mix up and down to mix it all the way through, and then throw it into the refrigerator. With this, there's a piece on here, it's magnetic, and so some people will add it in on there and place it down. I find it just easier to be able to put the cap right on the top, drop the capper straight down on top of it, and then close it down. And that's it. It's really that simple. And then having one that was made earlier on, all that's left to be done is to be able to, I like to dress the neck of this bottle with tahini all the way, good, at least halfway around it. Give it a good dunk into tahini. If you've never had this before, it's a Mexican chili lime salt, delicious with this cocktail. And if you're not buying your tahini in this size, you're doing it wrong. And that's really all there is to it. Pop it open whenever you're ready for it. And cheers to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ginger Bartender. I love Topo Chico, makes me miss Texas. So what do we got going on next?
So you sat down with Michael Moberly from Reno to play a game that we started last week called Wait, You're on Mute, which was hilarious. I can't wait to see this week's.
Michael Moberly, thank you so much for joining us. We are very excited to play our second time our game show, Hey, You're on Mute.
I've been miming all morning to my wife, so I'm super ready to mime some shit.
Just to get your lips warmed up? Perfect.
Yep,
okay.
Exactly.
So how this works is we're each going to have 30 seconds to try and guess each other's phrases. We're going to do a couple rounds, and we're going to see how it goes. Michael, are you ready to play?
Could not be more ready.
All right. I'm going to put myself on mute, and we're going to start the timer in 3, 2.
You have a taco. You have a taco in your face. In your you have a taco in your fanny pack. Yeah. This is a phrase I say honestly like 3 times a day.
That was really good. That was so fast. You got that in like literally like 12 seconds. That was awesome.
I'm only here to make Preston look bad, so.
All right, my turn. I'm up next. I don't know if I can beat that. We've got 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready to mute yourself?
I am ready to mute myself.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh no. Ice speak. Paloma. Icy Paloma. Icy Palomas. I pour an iced pitcher of Palomas. That's it.
I spilled a Paloma in your purse.
Ah, damn it.
But I see Paloma. I think you've got something on your mind currently.
I think that's a half a point. I thought you.
I thought this was spilling, but it could also be gun. I don't know.
I thought you were saying an icy pitcher of Palomas, and I was like, that sounds really good too.
Yeah, I have no problem with that either. But no, I spilled my Paloma in your purse was what I was trying to say.
Spilled your Paloma in my purse. Okay, all right. So it's 1-0, Michael to me. I'm ready to mute myself. Are you ready for the next one? You're on a roll.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2.
You want chocolate cheese? I don't like chocolate cheese. You want salt on the rim? Do you want salt on the rim?
Yes!
Not chocolate cheese.
Wow. Do you want chocolate? I'm thinking about Ween. Wow. Yes. Do you want salt on the rim? You were really good at this. It's like a talent show.
Or you're very good at it and I'm terrible at it. Like
I'm obviously not good at it because I can't guess anything. You're the one guessing everything. I'm good at mouthing things. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 2-0. Here we go. Next round. Are you ready to mute yourself? You're ready. Okay. 3, 2. Three pounds of sausages. Pre-batched cocktails.
Yeah. 3 pounds of sausages is also my stage name, so that seemed to work out well.
It really did look like 3 pounds of sausages. Okay, this is it. This is the last round. This is where, Michael, you can take it, or I might have a chance to tie. Here we go. Last one. Are you ready?
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, 3, 2.
Your margarita makes me thirsty.
That's it. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Well, we don't even need to keep going on the last round because that's 3 in a row. You got
domination.
All 3. You are so far the all-star of Hey, you're on mute. What an amazing job.
Hey, I apparently can read a lip.
I guess you can. Everybody pay attention. Michael's hidden skill. He's a great lip reader. You're fresh. It's 10 o'clock in the morning there. You're like...
Yeah, my brain is sharp. I'm ready to read some lips. I'm not going to let anyone talk to me for the rest of the day. I'm just going to make them mouth stuff at me.
Michael, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it, and congratulations on your big win.
Yeah.
Well-deserved congratulations for Mike Moberly. I think all those years of drama really paid off.
You killed it. So this week you also sat down with Mariah and Sam from the Pasifika Project, an organization founded by and created for individuals of oceanic descent within the hospitality industry, which I think is crazy topical right now and a great conversation to be had. Let's see how it went.
Mariah and Sam, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. We're going to go through a couple questions and ask you a little bit about the Pasifika Project, if that works for both of you.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Cool. So for anyone that does not already know you, could you introduce yourself briefly and tell us a little bit about who you are and what the Pasifika Project is?
I'll go first and then Mariah take the long-winded answer. My name is Sam Jimenez. I am located in the Bay Area. Bartender extraordinaire. I'm just kidding. Not. Currently the bar manager at Tribune Tavern in Oakland, California. And I guess co-founder, co-creator of the Pasifika Project with...
My name is Mariah Kunkel. I'm also in California, but I'm based in Los Angeles, born and raised in California. I've been in spirits industry for approximately 6 years now on the brand side. Yeah, co-founder of the Pasifika Project along with Sam.
Awesome. Can you describe a little bit about what the Pasifika Project is and what drew you to each other to work on this project?
Sure. I think the Pasifika Project is honestly really in its infancy. It's really just starting out. So we're really excited to, talk to folks about it, gain some momentum behind what it is that we're trying to do. It's really born out of a series of conversations that I had with Sam and a number of other individuals, sort of coming together around a shared cultural background. My background is that through my father's side, my father's family, I'm Indigenous Chamorro, which is the people of the Mariana Archipelago in the West Pacific, referred to not as Polynesian, but actually Micronesian. So I think it was really, finding commonality between our heritage and really having some thought-provoking and really supportive conversations around some issues that are impacting our communities.
Awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, 100%. A lot of it just comes out of, there not being a ton of voices for Pasifika, for oceanic peoples, Pacific Island peoples in the beverage industry. And Mariah and I kind of, connecting, like she said, a lot of cultural things and having the desire to create community and create a larger impact on the beverage world, but also out of the beverage world.
Yeah, absolutely. Take those voices and magnify them for sure. So both of you have educated, I've seen educations on the topic of tiki. So on that main topic of conversation, could you each describe a little bit in your own words, sort of your brief opinion on tiki as a whole, and what, if any, action can the bar community do to really move the needle on this conversation in a progressive manner?
Sorry.
I went first last time. You can go first now.
Yeah, I mean, as Steph knows, and my main goal has always been just education, educating people on, our islands, histories, cultures, peoples, and also the history of colonialism and imperialism in the Pacific and how that affected our islands and our peoples, and why I think it's important to examine tiki through that lens at times. I think the major goals for me in terms of change is ultimately I have a belief of what I would want to see, but I'm also very flexible in that because I think in order for any cultures and peoples to exist, that they need to evolve. And our islands, our cultures, our history, our people face a lot of different threats at this point in time. So the main goal for me is just to continue to educate people on those things and try to find a way to help those issues.
That's great.
Yeah, for me, I think in terms of what I think of tiki, for me, it's just sort of like this cultural Frankenstein or this amalgam of a lot of different cultures put together to sort of signal exotic, which is essentially, defined as not white. So it's these exotic sort of environments where people can go and sort of escape. And they almost always draw upon stereotypes. So it sort of reduces cultures, the stereotypes, and you have, you know, the cultures of the Pacific in terms of the decor, usually, you know, Chinese cuisine, sometimes they're, you know, Caribbean rum and cocktails and things like that. So it's sort of this, you know, non-white sort of space where people go and have a vacation. For me, I would sort of like to see, like, as Sam said, more conversations and more of evolution and more adaptation of these places, because they're supposed to be hospitable, welcoming places where people go to have a good time, to connect with their friends and family, and, you know, just enjoy their lives. I would just love for these places to be less use less sort of like stereotypical stereotypes, and also use cultures as sort of like costumes or buzzwords or code for, you know, vacation or escapism. Because for the people that live in these regions, they're not on vacation. This is a place where they live. These are cultures and that, you know, exist in these realms. And I think it's important to move beyond these stereotypes, because when you use stereotypes, you're communicating about the value of, you know, certain cultures and people in terms of the overall power structure. And I think there's a lot of really great conversations happening right now. And it's a great time to sort of take a step back and consider all of these messages, all of this representation.
I agree. I think we have a lot of time to sit and think and read right now. And oddly enough, like, COVID has given us a bit of a gift in that sense, that our lives have slowed to the point where we have an opportunity to think a lot more about our actions and read a lot more on the things that we do on a daily basis, or the things that we love, you know, that we may not know a lot about.
Right.
So for my last question, I really want to know, I know that you said it's a really new program, the Pasifika Project, and you're still sort of like building it right now, but if someone wants to get involved, or like, what's the best way to interact with this project, or if you're interested, or is there anything upcoming as far as an educational opportunity or events, obviously virtual events or anything like that, that people should be aware of that are happening, or ways to get involved?
We have a number of things in the works right now, nothing concrete that I can ask you to tune into. One of the things I think that I personally am asked for frequently is reading material, essays, sort of educational materials. And we do have a website, and there's a nice reading list on there in terms of articles that you can click and read immediately, and also books that you can take it upon yourself to order, which, you know, we prioritize, you know, Indigenous authors in terms of getting that perspective, because I think that's also underrepresented when it comes to, yes.
I've been reading this one. I just started it, but yes, I got this from the reading list on the Pasifika Project website.
Yeah. And I mean, we're also in discussion in terms of like building out content plans and things like that. So if you keep track of us in terms of social media, that's where we'll primarily look to roll out. But eventually hoping to move to in-person events when we are back to doing in-person events, which I miss and look forward to. I don't know, Sam, is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, you covered pretty much all of it. We have some things in the works. Don't really have anything solidified yet, but follow us on social, also pasifikaproject.com. Feel free to go through there and just stay tuned for all the reading material and things that
and also
yeah,
also our emails are on there, so you can feel free to email Sam all you want if you'd like to set up conversations to talk about stuff. No, it's been really great hearing from people. I know when I gave my presentation, some of the emails and people from the industry, outside of the industry, wanting to talk, and I know that happens a lot when Sam does give his presentation. So even if it's personal connection in terms of that, if that's something that folks would like to do, we welcome that as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for being here, Sam, Mariah. Don't forget, everyone, to go on the website, really an amazing reading list, and follow them on social media. And yeah, good luck with the project.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steph.
Welcome everybody back to the quarantine test kitchen here on Academia Live. I'm David.
I'm Joe.
And we are here in our house in Austin, Texas. We have a special treat for you tonight, one of our favorite southern treats. We are making greens and cornbread.
True story.
Greens and cornbread. So southern style greens. I think, what's our mix today?
Oh man, you can use any greens you want. We have turnip greens and Swiss chard today.
But collard greens, there's a whole assortment of stuff, whatever the market has to offer. Greens make a big pot, easy, nutritious, scalable. You can make it for whatever size crew you've got. It's a great leftover thing. What else could you do with leftover greens?
Greens and eggs in the morning.
You heard it here. And then for the cornbread, we've got a hot pan in the oven, our 10-inch cast iron skillet. The skillet was the star of the Dutch Baby episode a couple weeks ago, if you recall that Dutch Baby.
And that's at 400 degrees.
The skillet's back, 400 degrees. Talk to us about these greens.
Did you like greens growing up?
Hell no.
I hated greens growing up. My grandma made greens, or both grandmas would make greens. They cooked them to death. They're just a mushy bowl of nasty. But I feel like we've cracked the code on greens a little bit. We eat a lot of them throughout the year, so I've got some bacon rendering back here. I'm going to take a step back and throw onions and garlic in there.
What makes it not grandma's like my?
Well, my grandma would start with bacon, but because she cooked it so long, the bacon would just be almost boiled, and the greens would just have no texture to them. She didn't really wasn't a good with, and neither of them apparently was very good with spices.
That sounds like every vegetable from the 80s.
But I'm going to go do that.
Do it.
You work on this.
This
is very important.
Mixology.
I'm going to need that in a minute after this.
Yo, it is hot out. It is like mid-July here. And it's just blazing hot, and it's time for some mixology. Right now at the farmer's market, I went this morning. Joe and I, for many, many years, we were actually vendors at the farmer's market. Almost 10 years, every Saturday, I was at the market this morning, and I really felt for all those people standing out there in tents. But check it out. The market is social distancing and safe right now, and you can go support local agriculture. It makes a really big difference for farmers when you're paying them the retail price of their product instead of it having to go through a distributor and a wholesaler and all that for someone else to make that markup. You can support your local farmers by buying direct. I've got some watermelon that came from the market. I've got some mint that came from our garden, and I generally I don't. People who know me may know I don't muddle. I'm muddling today. It's fine. Usually I would juice the watermelon, make a watermelon juice and the mint syrup. I've got some lime juice, and I'm gonna do a Patron watermelon mojito. It's my opinion that everything that's good with rum or vodka or gin or whatever is even better with tequila. So we're gonna do a little mojito action. And my mise en place, I realize, just turned into a mess en place because I forgot to get the bubbly water. But I'm going to shake this up real quick. Watermelon mojito is the most refreshing summer delight. Can you give me a bubbly water?
I can't go around the camera.
This is a drink that you can pre-juice and make filtered watermelon juice and really have quite a delicious cocktail. Store it by the jug in the fridge, bottle it up, take it to your friends' houses. No one's going to say no to that.
Got you a selection.
Ooh la la. Topo Chico and Topo Chico.
Hey, just different parts of Mexico.
Just kidding. All right, this watermelon mojito is looking real good here. That color is just screaming summer refreshment. I can hear it. Little bubbly water. Do I have a garnish?
You better have a garnish.
Y'all, watermelon cube with some mint going through it. Solid thing. So that's a little watermelon mojito. Hot pan is heating up. Joe is crunching on this cornbread. You need to refresh yourself real quick.
I do. Cheers. Cheers. Delicious. Delicious.
That is like watermelon-y, minty, limey, bubbly. Let's talk about this cornbread.
Let's talk real quick about the greens. We're back here on the stove. We're going to check these greens. We've got this like nice saute going here. It's the onions, the garlic, the tomato, chili peppers, or little chili flakes. I've already salted that a little bit, kind of season as you go. I'm gonna drop these greens in. This is, they're just kind of wet from when we washed them and chopped them. You can use a rough chop. We're just gonna put these in, and then we're gonna kind of stir them around so that we mix all the saute stuff in with the greens.
It always looks like a big mountain of greens, and then it cooks down to like a third or something.
Not quite as bad as spinach, but hey. Liberally seasoned with salt and fresh pepper. We're gonna add a little pinch of sugar. It just kind of will offset some vinegar that we're gonna put in here. And this is just a taste, I would just kind of like slather on a little bit. Remember, you can always add, you can't take away. So just kind of start somewhere, and then we'll taste it and see how it is. I'm gonna put a little bit of this chicken stock in, just to give it a little bit more liquid to steam. That's maybe about a cup. I'll put the lid on, let that go for maybe like 10, 15 minutes. Then we'll check on the cornbread, taste this, make sure we do the adjusted seasoning, and then we'll be good to go. So we're gonna make cornbread. Typically down here in this area, cornbread's pretty dense. It's not like the cakey kind. There are parts of the country that do have like a fluffy or cakey kind. This is not that. This is the more like very dense version.
Nobody's got time for cornbread cake.
So we've got a cup and a half of cornmeal, half a cup of flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar, a half a teaspoon of salt, a cup of milk, 2 eggs, and a quarter cup of oil. Real quick we're lucky enough in Austin to have a mill here. So this is from Barton Springs Mill, this cornmeal. We would often use Lamb's, which is a Texas mill down in Inez, Texas. So look around your local area and see if you can find one, that maybe is around you that you didn't know about. So we're gonna just kind of mix everything together, and it's pretty easy. Cornbread. The only thing we're not gonna put in here is the oil. The oil is gonna go into the pan. So one thing that is a real treat for me, at least for cornbread, and I learned this from my uncle actually, and that is leftover cornbread. The next day's cornbread, you take that, you crumble it up, you toast it in like a little toaster oven or the oven, and then you put a little sugar and milk on it and eat it like cereal. It's the best thing ever. It's so good. Hot. Super hot. So while that's really, really hot, we're gonna put this oil in, and then you're gonna throw the cornbread batter in there. It's gonna sizzle. Or maybe not sizzle.
Oh yeah, I can hear a little sizzle. Look at it, sizzling around the edges. Mm-hmm.
So what this does is this helps it form like a little bit better crust. Doing it this way. You don't have to do the hot pan in the oil. You can like blend the oil in and just pour it in here. But this is just kind of the way that I learned to do it. And so this is kind of how we go. So that's ready, and we're just going to put that back in that 400-degree oven for about 20-25 minutes. Keep an eye on it, depending on how your oven works, and just check it with a knife, to see if it's done.
All right, folks, it is like the home stretch here. Joe has simmered the greens, tweaked the seasoning, and they smell incredible. I want to get the cornbread out of the oven. Oh wow, that's so good. Okay, here we go. Ooh la la, look at that. The handle's hot, don't touch it. Okay. You want to scoop us out some of these greens?
Sure. You want to cut some cornbread?
This cornbread looks and smells incredible. I've got a little wooden utensil so I don't damage our cast iron pot or cast iron pan here. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. It smells incredible. Oh yeah, steamy. This pan, you can still hear the cornbread sizzling in this pan. That oh yeah, it's magic of television right there.
There's a bunch of liquid at the bottom of a greens pot. You don't want to get rid of that. It's like the most tasty stuff. So make sure you either you eat it all with the greens now, pour it over cornbread, do something with it, but it's delicious.
We softened some butter beforehand. I like to put a little piece in the middle. Oh yeah, it's super soft. It's liquid. And then a little piece on top also. How they taste, Joe?
I don't know. I haven't tried them.
Oh my goodness, this is just like slip sliding
Can I
around.
have these?
Yeah, you can have
Kind of pretty piece.
Yeah. Let's taste these
Ah.
greens. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Holy cow.
You got like a little pop of the bacon coming through. You got like onion flavor. Got a little brightness from the
Tang, yep.
from the vinegar. Delicious.
It's cornbread.
Oh man. Ooh, cornbread. So excited.
Perfect little weeknight lunch or weeknight dinner. Greens and cornbread for days. Nicely done, Joe.
Cheers, David. Cheers, y'all.
See you all next week on Academy Alive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks to everyone. Next week, I'm going to be coming to you from North Carolina from my sister's place. So hopefully nothing terrible happens while I'm there with my family. But looking forward to next week. Thank you so much to all of our guests. And we're just going to be working on how to use these microphones until we see you next week.